Yeah,
Uh, no, I can't see your screen there.
you can't see my screen. Okay. How about
Yeah,
now? Can you see my screen?
yeah, no,
Yes, right?
yeah,
Okay. So let's get started with applications of trigonometry. So in the previous
mm,
chapter, we have learned about trigonometry, that is introduction to trigonometry. That is, what is
mm,
trigonometry? So if I ask you what is trigonometry, trigonometry is defined as it gives you a relationship between angles and sides of a right angled triangle, right? So this is where trigonometry is
yeah,
used. In this particular chapter, we'll be solving real world problems using trigonometry, right? Basically, we have three ratios that we define. The first ratio is sine, the second one is cos, and the third one is tan, right? So if I have a right
mm,
angle triangle this way, right, any angle can be taken as theta, and this can be taken as the opposite side. This is going to be the adjacent one, and this is going to be the hypotenuse, the side which is opposite to the
mm,
90-degree angle or
right,
the perpendicular angle, right? Over here, sine
yeah,
is defined as opposite over hypotenuse. Similarly, cos theta is defined as a over h, adjacent over hypotenuse, and similarly, tan is defined as o over a, opposite over adjacent. So I hope you know all of this, right? Basics of
yeah,
trigonometry you know of. Now, let us get started with applications of trigonometry, and for that, you have to know the values of standard angles, right? So these are known as standard angles in trigonometry. We start with 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90. We have 5 standard angles and we have 6 trigonometric ratios, which means that 6 multiplied by 5, we have 30 values, right? So that is a
mm,
particular trick in order to memorize this particular table. It is very easy. In order to memorize all these 30 values, you just need to memorize the first 5 of them. If you know the first 5 of them, all of the other ones are going to be very easy, right? So the
yeah,
first row, you don't have any other choice, but you have to memorize it. That is 0, 1 over 2, 1 over square root of 2, square root of 3 over 2, and 1. All right. So this is
mm,
the value of sine. Sine 0 is 0, sine 30 is half, sine 45 is 1 over square root of 2, and so on. Right. Similarly, in order to find out the value of cos, you just write down the value of sine reverse in the reverse order. We start with 1, then square root of 3 over 2, then 1 over square root of 2, then 1 over 2, and 0. Then for tan, we can just divide sine and cos. So tan theta is also sine over cos, isn't it? So I can just divide these both.
yeah,
0 divided by 1 is going to be 0. 1 over 2 divided by square root of 3 over 2 is going to be 1 over 3 square root of 3, and so on. Right? Similarly, once we have the value of sine, cos, and tan, it is easy to find out the value of cot, secant, and cosecant because these three are reciprocals of sine, cos, and tan. Right? Now,
mm,
having this said, let me start by solving the problem. And this is the first question based on NCRT. And this is what is you follow, right? If I'm right.
yeah,
All right. So let me start by taking up this question. A circus artist is climbing a 20-meter long rope, which is tightly stretched and tied from top of a vertical pole to the ground. Find the height of the pole if the angle made by the pole with the ground is 30 degrees. So over here, we see that there is a triangle and see we have one of the angle and we know the sides of the triangle, one of the sides, right? So over here, I can start by writing down whatever is given in the question. So it is AC, which is equal to 20 meters, right? The angle is also given to you and you can take this as theta. Theta is 30 degrees. So this is what is given to you.
mm,
Now, let me consider this particular triangle, right? And in this particular triangle, in
mm,
triangle ABC, right? Sine of any angle would be what? Sine of any particular angle theta would be the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Over here, theta is 30 degrees, which means sine 30 degrees is going to be the opposite side. For 30 degrees, which is the opposite side, it is AB, isn't it? So the opposite
yeah,
side is
yeah,
AB. So I can write down OAB over here divided by H. H is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side opposite to the perpendicular degree. So it is going to be AC. And instead of AC, I can write down 20 meters. right? Now, sine 30, what
Yeah.
is the value of sine 30? It is 1 over 2. So I can
1 by 2.
replace sine 30 with 1 over 2, and that's going to be equal to AB over 20. And now I can cross multiply. Upon cross multiplication,
Yeah.
I should be getting 2 times AB, and that's going to be equal to 20. Divide both sides by 2. You have the value of AB as 10 meters, and this is going to be your final answer. It is put a box around it, right? So find the height of the pole. So I can write that height of the pole is going to be 10 meters. Okay? I hope this is clear, and
Yeah.
I'll be sharing all of this later on. Okay? Sounds like
Okay.
Uh-huh. Let's go to the next question. Okay. A tree breaks due to storm and broken parts bend so that top of the tree touches the ground, making an angle of 30 degree with it. The distance between the foot of the tree and the point where the top of the tree touches the ground is 8 meters. Find the height of the tree. Okay. So let me start by drawing the tree and a broken tree rather, right? So a tree is broken down this way, right? And it is making an angle of 30 degrees with the ground. So let me consider this particular point as A, this particular point as B, this particular point as C, right? So tree breaks due to storm. So what is the height of the tree? The height of the tree was AC. This is the height of the tree,
Yeah.
right? It was
Hmm.
AC, and this is what I need to find out. But it has been broken down, and now it is touching the ground, making an angle of 30 degrees, which means this particular angle is going to be 30 degrees. The distance between the
Hmm.
top, the foot of the tree and the top where the foot touches it. So this is going to be 8 meters. Okay. Now, what do we have to find out?
Yeah.
We have to find out the value of AC. Okay, so in order to find out the value of AC, right, what can be done? So first I can start by finding out the value of tan, or rather AB, and then I can find out the value of BC. I can just add both of them and I should be getting my answer, right? So let me start by writing
Yeah.
down sine of angle theta, or rather first I will start by taking up tan. Anything I can take up. The order really does not matter. So tan theta is the opposite side over the adjacent side. So we have tan 30 degrees should be equal to the opposite side, which is AB, which is unknown. So as it is, divided by the adjacent side, which is 8. Now tan 30 is 1 over square root of 3, and that's going to be equal to AB over 8. Now you can cross multiply over here, right? AB multiplied by square root of 3, or square root of 3 multiplied by AB is going to be 1 multiplied by 8 is going to be 8. Divide both sides by square root of 3, and you have the value of AB as 8 over square root of 3. And this is going to be in meters, and you can put a box around it.
Okay.
Is it clear as of now what we have done?
Yeah. And
Okay. Now,
so, but that's
uh,
AB as the height, right?
AB is the height until now, half of the tree, right? But what is
Okay.
that we have to find out? We have to find out AC. AC was the
AC.
entire height, right? So AC is nothing
Hmm.
but AB and BC added together. So I have the value of AB. I need to find out the value of BC as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right, in
Hmm.
order to find that out, I can take up cos of theta, because cos theta gives you the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, and here the adjacent side is 8, and 8 over BC. And that's going to be equal to cos 30 degrees. And what is cos 30 degrees? Cos 30 degrees is square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2 is going to be equal to 8 over BC. And again, you can cross multiply. So you would be getting the value of square root of 3 multiplied by BC, and that's going to be equal to 16. Divide both sides by square root of 3, and you have the value of BC as 16 divided by square root of 3 meters. And you can put a box around it. Now, in order to find out AC, we need to add up AB and BC, both of them, as in, so here I will start by writing down AC is going to be equal to AB plus BC. So this is 8 over square root of 3 plus 16 over square root of 3, and this is going to be 24 over square root of 3. Now whenever we have irrational number in the denominator, we can rationalize it just by multiplying square root of 3 on either side. So I'll be getting 24 square root of 3 divided by square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3 is going to be 3. So 24 over 3 is going to be 8. So I can write down AC is going to be 8 square root of 3 meters. This is going to be your final answer, and this is the height of the tree, right? I can write down therefore height of the tree before it was broken was 8 square root of 3 meters. Is it clear, Satvik, how we have taken up this particular question?
So can you explain this question again,
Sure,
like
sure,
from the
sure,
beginning?
not a problem. So over here, the question says that a tree breaks due to storm and broken parts bend so that top of the tree touches the ground, making an angle of 30 degrees. So there was a tree
Mm,
this way, right? So ABC was the tree, right? So imagine that
mm,
this particular C was over here, something like this. Okay,
mm.
now it has been broken down and now it touches the ground, making an angle of 30 degrees, which means that this particular angle that the top of the tree makes with the ground is 30 degrees, right? So first
Yeah.
what I have done is I have started by writing down the diagram. Then what does it say? The distance between the foot of the tree, and the point where the top touches the ground. So this is the point where the top touches the ground is how much? Is
Mm.
8 meters. So I have written down 8 meters over here, right? So what is asked?
Okay.
Find the height of the tree. So height of the tree was asked, as in, so we need to find out what was the height of the tree before, right? So imagine C was here,
Okay.
so the tree would be this way, right? Before it
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
broken down. So we had to find out what
Yeah.
is the value. The value of AC is what I need to find out. So the same thing I have been written down over here.
Okay.
Okay, now, but
Yeah.
how do I find out the value of AC directly? There is no way I can find out the value of AC. So I have split
Mm.
this and I have written down as AB plus BC,
BC.
right? In order to find out the
Yeah.
value of AB, right? AB is the opposite side to the 30 degree, the angle, right?
Yeah.
And BC is the hypotenuse. So which two ratios connect? It is tan and cos. So the order really does not matter. I have started by taking up tan of this particular angle. Tan of any angle would be opposite side and the hypotenuse opposite side, right?
Yeah.
So over here it is going to be AB over 8. This is going to be the ratio, and that's going to be equal to tan 30. Tan 30 value I have taken up from the table. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. So 1 over root 3 is going to be AB over 8. AB being the
8.
opposite side and AC
Mm.
being 8, the adjacent side.
Okay.
Now, upon
Mm.
cross multiplying, I'll be getting square root of 3ab is going to be equal to 8. Square root of 3 can be divided on either sides, and I have the value of ab as 8 over square root of 3 meters. Now, now, in order to find out the value of BC, BC is the hypotenuse. I know the value of AC. AC is the adjacent side. So I can consider cos of angle A or angle C over here, right? So cos of 30 degree is going to be equal to the adjacent side. Adjacent side is going to be 8, and the hypotenuse is going to be BC. Cos 30 degrees. Cos 30 degree is how much from the table? It is square root of 3 over 2. So square root of 3 over 2 is going to be 8 over BC. Again, you can cross multiply. Upon cross multiplying, 8
Yeah.
multiplied by 2 is going to be 16. And square root of 3
Mm.
multiplied by B as it is. Divide by square root of 3 on either side. Square root of 3 will be getting cancelled out, and you'll be left out with BC is equal to 16 over square root of 3. We need to find out the value of AC, which is the height of the tree.
Mm.
And I know that AC can be written down as AB and BC. We have found out the value of AB. We have found out the value of BC. So I have written down
Mm.
AC is AB over BC. 8
Mm.
plus 16 over square root of 3. Since the denominators are equal, I can just add up the numerators. So it is going to be 24 over square root of 3. Whenever we have irrational number in the denominator, we have to rationalize
Mm.
it by multiplying and dividing it with the same right? So it is going to be square root of 3 divided by square root of 3. 24 square root of 3 divided by 3. It is going to be 8 square root of 3. This is going to be the value of AC, and AC is the height of the tree. So finally, I can write down the
Okay.
height of the tree before it was broken was 8 square root of 3. Is it clear now?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And let me go to the next question. The third one.
Mm.
A contractor plans to install two slides for children to play in the park for children below age 5 years. So let me start by writing down the same thing. Children below 5 years. He is planning to install two slides, one for children below 5 years and one for children, elder children, right? Children before.
Mm.
All right. Now, here, it is said that for children below age of 5, she prefers to have a slide whose top is the height of 1.5 meters. So this is how the slide is going to look like, and
Mm.
she says that the height is going to be 1.5 meters. Okay, whereas for elder children, she wants to have the steep at the height of 3 meters. Okay, so for elder children, it is going to be at 3 meters, the height. Whereas she wants to steep at 33 meters, okay, incline at 60 degrees. So the angle over here is 60
Mm.
degrees, and here the angle is 30 degrees, right? What should be the length of the slide in each case? So let me start by considering this as A, B, C, and P, Q, R. What do we need to find out? We
Mm.
need to find out the length of the slide, right? So
Slide.
let me
Okay.
send out to find the value of AC, right, and the value of PR. This is what we need to find out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and let me put a box around it. Now, how do we find this out? It is very easy. We know one of the angle, we know the opposite side of this particular angle. We need to find out the
Yeah.
hypotenuse. So which ratio connects the opposite side and the hypotenuse? It is sine, isn't it? So we
Sign.
know that
Yeah.
sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Here, theta is 30 degrees. So sine 30 would be equal to the opposite side, which is 1.5 meters over AC, which is going to be the length of the slide. Sine 30 degrees is going to be 1 over 2, and that's going to be equal to 1.5 over AC.
See.
Now I can just cross multiply. AC multiplied by 1 is going to be AC itself, and that's going to be equal to
Mm.
1.5 multiplied by 2, and the value of AC is going to be equal to 3 meters, and I
Yeah.
can put a box around it. So this is going to
Mm.
be the length of the slide for the children below 5 years. Similarly, we can use the same logic over here. In order to find out the length of the slide, I can use sine of the angle being 60 degrees, and this is the opposite side, which is 3 meters over the hypotenuse, which is PR,
Mm.
right? What is sine 60 degree? It is square root of 3 divided by 2, and that's going to be equal to 3 divided by PR. Again, you can cross multiply in order to solve for PR, right? So PR over here, and it is multiplied by square root of 3, and that's going to be equal to 2 multiplied by 3, which is going to be equal to
Three.
6. You can divide both sides by PR square root of 3, and on the left hand side you will be left out with PR, and that's going to be equal to 6 multiplied by square root of 3 divided by square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3. So PR can be written down as 2 square root of 3 meters, and this is going to be your final answer. Okay, 2 square
Yeah.
root of, my bad, 1 minute. 2 square root of 3 meters, and here also let me put. So this is the length of the slide for children above 5 years or elderly children.
mm.
I hope this is clear. So we have considered
Yeah.
three questions as of now. Let me take up one more, the fourth one. The angle of elevation
Okay.
of the top of the tower to the point on the ground, which is 30 meters away from the foot of the tower, is 30 meters. Find the height of the tower. So let me start by drawing a tower this way, right? And what is given? Angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the point on the ground. So there is a point on the ground, and let me consider this as the ground. There is a point on the ground, and from this particular point the angle of elevation of the top of the tower, so this way, right, it is how much? 30 degrees, and the distance is
Mm.
30 meters, right? Let me name this as A, B, and C, right? Find the height of the tower. So we need to find out what is AB. So AB is question mark. This is what we need to find out.
Mm.
Now, here we know the angle, we know the adjacent side of the angle, and we need to find out the
Yeah.
opposite side. So we can use tan of that particular angle, and I know that tan theta is opposite side over the adjacent side.
Adjacent.
So here the angle is 30 degrees, so tan 30 degrees is going to be the opposite side, which is going to be AB, and that's going to be divided by the adjacent side. The adjacent side is BC. Tan 30 degree is 1 over square root of 3, and that's going to be equal to AB as it is. We don't know the value. BC is 30, and
30.
now I can cross multiply. Square root of 3
Mm.
is going to be multiplied by AB, and 1 multiplied by 30 is going to be 30 as it is. Square root of 3 can be divided on either sides. So you have the value of AB over here, which is 30 divided by square root of 3. But you cannot have square root of 3 or any rational number in the denominator. So you multiply and divide by square root of 3. So it is 30 square root of 3 divided by 3, and the value of AB is how much? 10 square root of, and you can put a box around it, right? So you can start, and you can finally write down height of the tower is 10 square root of 3 meters, and this is going to be your final answer. I hope this is clear.
Yeah.
How we have solved this? First we are using tan, okay, because we
Mm.
have to find out the opposite side and the adjacent.
Mm.
Do you have any questions now, Satvik? Any questions about
No,
the
sir.
model?
No.
Not really.
No.
Okay, okay. And we have the other questions as well. So similarly, I'll be taking up this one. Okay, the fifth question. A kite is flying at the height of 60 meters above the ground. So let me start by drawing the kite over here, something like this, right? So this is where the kite is flying. And let me take up the height as 60 meters. A string attached to a kite is temporarily tied to the ground on the ground. The inclination of the string with the ground is 60 degrees. Okay, so this is the ground. There is a point on the ground such that a string which is tied makes an angle of 60 degrees with the ground. Find the
Mm.
length of the string, assuming that there is no slack in the string. So let me name this over here. Let me consider this as A, B, and C. So basically we have to find out the length of the string, as in AC is what I need to find out. Here
Mm.
again, we know the angle, we know the opposite side of the angle, we have to find out the hypotenuse. So sine theta would relate the opposite side and the hypotenuse. So I can use sine of the angle. Here the angle is 60 degrees. So sine 60 degrees is going to be equal to the opposite side. The opposite side is AB, and the hypotenuse is AC. The value of sine 60 degree is square root of 3 divided by 2 from the table. AB as it is, or I can substitute for AB right away or later on. It is of my choice. Let me substitute over here as 60 meters. And what I think the value of AC is? AC is what we need to find out. So
AC.
AC as it is. Now you can cross multiply. Square root of 3 multiplied by AC, and that's going to be equal to 2 multiplied by 60. And here it is going to be square root of 3AC, which is going to be equal to 120. Divide both sides by square root of 3. You are going to be having the value of AC as 120 divided by square root of 3. And now you have to multiply square root of 3 on either sides in order to rationalize the same. It is 120 square root of 3 divided by 3, which is how much? AC is 40 square root of
40 root 3.
meters. And now you can put a box around it. So what is AC? AC is the length of the string. So you can write down therefore length of the string is 40 square root of 3 meters, and this is going to be your final answer. So we have solved about